For the last 10 days, I've been waging war on some rats that have been infiltrating the property here and getting the seed from the birds. I've tried a number of different traps. Those of you who have watched the previous videos, and there were two, there was round 1 and round 2, will have seen that the rat actually has defeated me on a number of occasions, and the homemade traps that I got from the internet, whilst appearing to be effective, didn't actually result in catching a rat up to this stage. And so I was forced to go into Bunnings store and buy what they term a nooski trap, which was the be all and end all of rat traps apparently. Tried that for a few days, no result there. Then I discovered that we actually had mice as well, and so I bought a nooski mouse trap, which is a similar thing but very small. Once again, no result there either. So I was reverted back to the conventional type rat traps, and lo and behold, I did catch one in a rat trap. That was a rat, of course, and up to that stage the score was 2-1 to the rat's advantage. This is the last video in this series because it can become boring after a while trying to catch rats, interesting as it is watching the videos. But anyway, at the end of this video we will determine the outcome. I might also point out that I did purchase some new mouse traps, and I did succeed in catching a mouse in one of the conventional style mouse traps, and I don't know whether I caught another one because I got up one particular morning and I had set 2 traps and one had completely disappeared off the planet, and I've yet to find it. So I suspect that perhaps a mouse or a rat, for instance, got its tail trapped in a rat trap, or a mouse trap as it was, and they are probably running around trying to get into their burrow with a rat trap attached to their tail, because I looked high and low for it and couldn't find it. Anyway, as I said before, we'll get on with the video and we'll see what the result is at the end of it. As a last resort, I modified the bucket with the blue label that you could see to be a little bit more efficient, and I also removed from the square bucket, I removed the counterweight, which I thought was a little bit too heavy, and this is me testing. I was so exasperated by this time, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to get you. And underneath, as an added measure, is a bowl of rat sack underneath the blue bucket as well, just in case. So we shall now see, you'll notice in the next one that I will actually be putting some bird seed as bait on the top. This is around about, I think it was about 6 o'clock or something at night, and lo and behold, of course, the sun doesn't go down till 7:22 in these here parts, and in the next scene I noticed that there were a couple of scrub wrens that decided to come over and eat some of the seeds, which you'll see in a minute. This is the first little devil who appeared. I didn't know this because I just went inside and left the camera running, as I do all night. But you'll notice also that he is so light, this little bird, that he won't trip that, because where he is standing is the tipping point. That's where he should actually have fallen into the bottle, the water underneath, but he obviously didn't because he's too light. Anyway, here he is, he's back again. I think it's a scrub wren, this one. It's hard. We have a number of different species of birds around here. I thought he was a silver eye to start with. Anyway, that was the bird, and I think there's another one coming up in the next scene as well. Yeah, this is a female blue wren. You can tell by the upright tail. And it's having a great little feed on my bait. Now this is where it gets interesting, because you can see the rat there, the little white dot next to the bucket. But it's 22 minutes after midnight now, so there has been this hiatus between, say, about sunset going down at 7:22, so say 8 o'clock till 22 minutes after midnight. And this is the result. This must have been the first time that this rat had come around here. Now the position of the buckets was calculated by me, because in previous videos, which I haven't put up, they were in the habit of climbing on the shoulders of the Buddha boy and also on the head. And I thought, right, well, let's make it easy for them instead of that stupid little ladder system that I had originally had. Anyway, we can see that this rat's here, and the tipping point is right where he is. There you are, look, he's had a fright from that. So now he's wary, and I think, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen for the rest of this night. This rat is just going to pussyfoot around and be very, very wary. However, later on, there was an interesting development. The backup plan, of course, was that there is rat sack underneath that bucket, which is what he's going for now. So if I can't catch him in a bucket, then he's going to get a belly full of rat poison and take it back to his nest and probably regurgitate his innards up. I've got to be very careful with the description here, because YouTube might take exception to it. Now you can see here that I've actually done him a favour, because he can just go around the shoulders of the Buddha boy, and he can get back onto that plinth and make another attempt at getting that seed. But you can see how wary he is now. He says, hang on, I was over here before and it tipped on me. Do I keep doing this? And yep, look how wary he is now. He says, I know there's something going to happen. And then, of course, the scene changes, and he's back down at the base of the Dulux bucket there. Well, we're now at 1:29 AM, coming up for 1:30, and we can see he's back for another go, and up onto the shoulders and back around. Now he knows that this thing tips, and he's already tried it once. Let's see if he can get a little bit braver. No, now he's looking around at the other one thinking, hang on, is there another one here? Now about 8 minutes have gone past, and I've cut out a few scenes because he kept coming back being very wary. But you'll notice now he's back up onto the square bucket, and he's actually over the tipping point. But unfortunately, when I modified that the other day, it was in 40-degree heat in my shed, and I felt like there was a little bit sticking where the handle of the bucket is. It was sticking a little bit, and maybe that actually prevented it from tipping that time. Anyway, he's back up on, or he's up onto the new bucket now, because he's realised that yes, okay, there's seed up here, and so we can see that he's getting quite confident on this one. I do have a magnet where the edge of his tail is. There is basically a magnet attached to the oh, now that's a surprise. because we've just caught him. I didn't realise it at the time, but he's actually in the bucket now, and it's what, 1:48, so 10 minutes went by. He was obviously having a good little feed in there, and bingo, we caught him. And so at 7:06 in the morning, I get out and I noticed that the seeds had been, well, the ones that were loose on the lid had disappeared. And I had a quick look in there. I won't show you, of course, but you can be rest assured that there is a Rattus Rattus in the bottom of that bucket, swimming around, but he won't be swimming there forever, and he was humanely disposed of, let's say. And now I'm just removing the other bucket, checking that there isn't a rat in there. But no, I will continue to set up these things for the next few days, but I'm not all that enamoured with the homemade traps. But the final score, of course, is the rat's 2 and I'm 2, so it was quite an even match.